What's up, guys? So it's Triple U back here. This is my profile. As you can see, I have this lovely little collector profile, and I'm gonna show you how I got it as a 100% free-to-play player. I don't know how many free-to-play players got this profile, but I can't imagine it was that many. And I'm also just really happy with my expenditures in terms of revives, etc. So for King of Combo, it's the Aegon one, 6 revives. Kind of irritating on the right. You can see the notes. So I used suicides. I died on Captain Marvel, Storm, 3 times on Wolverine, and 1 time on Hulk. Obviously, some of those Wolverines were quit outs. Hunk of Junk, ROL, was the Gilly 99 one, or the robot one. I died once on Juggernaut. Sick Beast of a Player, which is Dr. Octopus. I died 3 times. 2 of them were on Havoc. I used the Bricked boost, which is a 6.3 tech boost. And I died once on Starkey. I managed to actually get Joe Fixit down without a revive. Teams Aplenty, ROL, She-Hulk, Magneto, Mr. Fantastic, Black Panther, and Namor. 6 revives. I had suicides on too. And now we go on to a big one. So we have Mutant Domination. I spent 41 revives and 3 team revives. So I actually died once with, well, I didn't die with Magneto. I soloed with Magneto and then quit out. So right before I was about to kill it, and I killed it with Professor X. So that cost me a revive, but it was with the ramp up. And by the way, this whole Mutant Domination challenge is with suicides. Luke Cage, I used Strife. I played kind of poorly, but overall I did okay. I fully ramped him up, and I also ramped up Professor X by making sure to kill the fight with him. Old Man Logan, I took with Magneto. That was technically not a solo, but a solo as well, because I brought in Apocalypse to get me a charge, and then I quit out, and I went in with Colossus. Let me correct that. I went in with Apocalypse, quit out. Went in with Apocalypse again, quit out. So then I had 4 charges. Then I went in with Colossus to Horseman him, quit out there, went in with Apocalypse again, quit out, and then went in with Apocalypse again and quit out. And then I soloed it with Magneto. So that way I would have 4 charges for a Horseman and then put him back up to 4 charges. Havoc I did with Colossus, 2 revives. Right as he was about to die, I quit out with Professor X. And it is at this point that all of my champions are fully ramped up. Dormammu was a solo with Strife. I had Dexterity on, still soloed it. I was really proud of that. Joe Fixit, I took down with 1 team revive. I took suicides off for Professor X. Then I team revived and used him again, so I used him back to back. So it made sense to take them off because it was free, because this is when the mass rechains were free. And this team revive, because you notice I used Strife and Professor X, and then I team revived, and not the other 3. The other 3 were dead from having quit out of fights to ramp them up and whatnot. We have all this information right here. Mordo, I used Strife, and it was terrible. Then I used Apocalypse, and it went really, really well. Venom the Duck, I used Apocalypse, and I didn't play really all that well, but it's okay. Howard the Duck, I used Magneto and Colossus, because I thought he could finish it and I didn't need him for any other fights. And Hyperion with Strife, that was terrible. Hyperion is just so mean. He never throws his special attacks. The champion, I used Strife and Apocalypse. Apocalypse was much better again. Generally, the difference between Strife and Apocalypse is, in a perfect world, Strife is much better. But Apocalypse is just so much more consistent that 9 times out of 10, I would go with him. Cyclops, I used 3 different people, Apoc, Strife, and Colossus. Colossus was so good. He was just so powerful and hard to kill. It was phenomenal. Loki, I did with Apocalypse, Professor X, Strife. Aegon, I soloed with Apoc. Invisible Woman, I soloed with Apoc. These are my first 2 solos, although technically Darkhawk and Old Man Logan, oh no, my second and third, rather, I soloed Dormammu. But then I also got 2 more that I quit out of. The Collector was 11 revives. I used Apocalypse for all of it, and then once he became stun immune, I used Strife. And it was a pretty good time. You can see with the Calypsonian, I took 77% off, and then I actually went in with Apocalypse again. First I went in with Apocalypse again so that I could, actually heal for my poison, so I was using the Professor X Colossus synergy so I could be higher health. And for the most part, and I have a note over here on the right that I'll show you later, but I would rather revive than heal, and I would rather revive than rank up champions because you can farm revives easier than you can farm catalysts, easier than you can farm ISO, and easier than you can farm health potions. So here we have the next challenge, the New Heroes and Foes challenge. I actually used 9 revives. My note here literally just says sadness. Squirrel Girl was pretty bad because she was only rank 3. Remember what I said about that? No suicides. At rank 3, she was just getting devastated by Medusa. And then it was also a really hard path because I picked the Delirium Mystic path, which isn't, Delirium's not that hard, but it's hard when your only options are a rank 3 5-star Ultron, a rank 5 Wolverine, and a rank 5 Hyperion, and they're all mystics and nullifying all of your buffs. It was a problem. Revolution. This one was going really, really well. I had a 6-1 Korg, a 6-1 Ragnarok, Hulk rather, and then a 5-4 Thor Ragnarok. Then I got devastated on the Grandmaster. You're going to see a theme. Okay, Carina's Challengers. No suicides here. I died once on Dark Hawk with Void. Took me 5 revives on Luke Cage. Not proud of that at all. Got a solo on Old Man Logan. Spent 6 revives on Havoc. Technically, it would have cost 3, but instead of doing that, I put in 2 with Void, and instead of reviving him again, I revived Morningstar 4 times to ramp her up, and so it basically only cost 3 to ramp her up because it saved me a revive with Void, if that makes sense. So I was really happy with how I played that. I soloed Dormammu with She-Hulk. Joe Fixit, 1 revive. Mordo. Mole Man absolutely slaughtered this fight. Amazing, amazing for this. 2 revives. Venom the Duck, 2 revives with Morningstar. I'm not sure why. I don't remember why I didn't solo that. I think he wasn't playing very nice, but I could be wrong. Howard the Duck, just a team revive. Hyperion, we did with Morningstar and She-Hulk. The champion we did with She-Hulk. That was a pretty easy one. Cyclops, we did with Morningstar, Void, and She-Hulk. All 3 of them worked really well. I mean, it is what it is. Loki, I did with Mole Man because Mole Man is just a beast. Aegon, I did with Morningstar, Invisible Woman, Mole Man, Collapsidian, Morningstar, and the Collector was with Morningstar for the most part. Now, Darkhawk, this is the next challenge rather to come out to play. This is my last one. So, Anti-Venom for Darkhawk, and I soloed that fight. I have never seen a solo online. I don't know if one exists, but I'm going to be doing that fight again and recording it because it was just such a good fight, and I want to kind of show people how it is done. So I soloed that, 2 revives on Luke Cage, soloed Old Man Logan, 2 revives on Havoc, and that's when I turned on Suicides for Havoc so I could have willpower because I didn't have willpower for the other things. Then I did 2 revives on Dormammu with Spidey, 1 revive on Joe Fixit with Anti-Venom. So I believe what I did was I took a ton of heavies and then reversed it, and he was kind of being mean. So I took off, I want to say, like 70% on the first run. Second run finished it off. I did null for Mordo, and I just played terribly, so it cost me 4 revives. I soloed Venom the Duck with Sim Supreme, and I was so happy with that fight because my Symbiote Supreme is rank 4 as a 5-star, and I didn't want to rank him up. And this kind of vindicated that choice because, I mean, I didn't have to spend anything, and he still soloed it. Howard the Duck, I went in with Null and Anti-Venom at the beginning. No, I went in with Null at the beginning, and, I mean, it was what it was. Like, I kind of got slaughtered. And then I went in with Null. No, here's what happened. I went in with Null, and I got down to 63%. Then I went in with Spidey, Stealth Spidey, and I quit out. And then I ended up reviving him, so that's the second revive. And then Anti-Venom, I went in and I soloed it from 60% to 0. And I want to say that third revive was just me being terrible with Null. I could be wrong, though. And then for Hyperion, I used Sim Supreme and Spidey, but mostly Sim Supreme. Very happy with this fight as well because, once again, it vindicated my choice not to rank him. Stealthy versus the champion. This isn't necessarily fully correct. It was also Symbiote Supreme for the most part, actually, more so than Stealthy. And then I did Green Goblin with Null. So the Abyss challenges cost me 22 revives. 58 revives, and 41 revives and 3 team potions, or team revives. And so if you look at it overall, here's my revive expenditure, here's if I have suicides. The yes-no order on these two right here is when I turn them on. Overall, I spent 159 solo revives and 4 team revives. As you can see right here, I also say I purposefully chose to revive rather than heal. A lot of times, meaning like I'd go in with 25% health or 20% health or whatever, and instead of healing up to like 80, because revives were what I had excess of. And similarly, I decided to use more revives rather than fully rank up my champions. Like for the Revolution Challenge, barely ranked up. Come out to play Sim Supreme, not ranked up. I didn't rank up my second Doc Ock. I didn't rank up Ultron for this. I left Squirrel Girl at rank 3 as well. And so you can kind of just see like you can see that revives were like I farmed a ton of them and they were not my bottleneck and I knew that. And so the revive expender is probably like a good 20 higher than it needed to be. But that's okay because it didn't cost me any units except for mastery changes. It costed about 200. And I still actually have like 30 revives in stash. So there is that. But this is overall. And then I have a little graph to show my expenditure. So let's see if I can, I don't know if I can zoom in. We'll just make the graph bigger. So you can see that Carina's challengers took the most. Oh, where'd the graph go? Let's try to do that again. Oh, it's reloading. Okay. That was not the goal. So Carina's challengers was 58, and that took up more than a third. Mutant Domination was 50. I counted team revives as 3 revives because that's about how much it is because, you know, there's worse options. Come out to play was 22. Revolution, I can just show it to you right here. But yeah, so that's my revive expenditure. Very happy with how it went and very happy with the challenges as a whole. 159 revives, 0 units in terms of revives or potions. And yeah, it was just a really good run. So thank you for watching. I hope you can use some of this information or at least use it to inform how much you need. And yeah. Thank you for watching.